Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Mr. McMurdo Math Network. I am here with Mr. McMurdo's homeroom class. We're talking about multiplying decimal numbers by decimal numbers using the standard algorithm. Using the standard algorithm. Our first step in this process is going to be estimate my answer. Fifth graders hate to do estimation.
I don't.
I do.
Many fifth graders hate to do estimation. This is one of the most important parts in this type of problem. If you don't estimate, there's a great chance you put your decimal point in the incorrect place. Now I've given y'all 7 minutes in this class to estimate it, find the actual product, and place your decimal point. So at this point, everyone in here should be finished and ready for that. Ian, you're going to help me estimate. So what would we take 1 9/10 to? 2. And what would we put 4 3/10 as?
4.
And Ian, what is 2 times 4?
8.
8. My answer is going to be in the ballpark of 8. Somewhere around 8. Those of you that did that in class, you should look at your answer, your final answer, and make sure your answer is around 8. Somewhere in the ballpark. Not necessarily exactly 8. Step 2 in our process says to multiply these decimals, but ignore the decimal point. Ignore the decimal point. So I'm going to rewrite it. And basically, I'm going to multiply 19 times 43. Because it says multiply, ignoring the decimal point. Well, I can't really ignore if it's there. So I rewrite it without even the decimal points in it. Yes, I do. That's what I do. Don't try and question that. That's what I'm doing. Look, I can prove it. It's there. Okay, so Maribel, what we have here is a 2-digit factor by a 2-digit factor. So let's start with our ones place in our second factor. Maribel, what's 3 times 9?
27.
So I have 27 ones, which is the same as saying 7 ones and 2 tens. That's why I carry. Know why you carry. Don't just carry because that's what you've always been shown. I carry because they told me to. This is why they told you to. It's important to know the why. Maribel, what's 3 times 1?
3.
3 plus 2. 5. I have 5 tens. I have 5 tens. So 19 times 3 equals 57. That's what I just did. 19 times 3. Now I'm done with my ones place. So now I'm going to multiply 19 times my tens place. Maribel, 4 tens equals how much? 40. So what I'm actually doing here is multiplying 19 times 40. That is what I'm doing, 19 times 40. Which is why, if you remember in the past, I have said if there's a 0 at the back, all I have to do is bring it down. That's why that 0 goes there. Now, all I'm doing is multiplying 19 times 4, because I've made it 40 by putting the 0 in the ones place. And that means we start in the tens place. That is why. Thank you, Maribel, for your help with that problem. Let's jump over to Sahana. Now I'm multiplying 4 times 9, and I get?
36.
I got 36 tens, which means 6 tens and 3 hundreds. Nobody wants to carry around 36 $10 bills in their wallet. I mean, I would like to have that much, But it's far easier to multiply, to have 3 hundreds and 6 tenths. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, so Hannah, what is 4 times 1 plus 3? 7. So 19 times 40 is 760. Now you can always break this apart when you do it and do 19 times the 1's place and then 19 times the 10, the value of the 10's place. You can, I promise. And then we find the sum of these two products. So Hannah, what's my sum when I add it all together? 817. That is not the answer to 1 9/10 times 4 3/10. That is the answer to 19 times 43. Our estimate said our answer needed to be around 8. Our problem, there are 2 numbers behind the decimal point in the problem, which means there needs to be 2 numbers behind the decimal point in the product. So our answer to 19 or 1 9/10 times 4 3/10 is 8 17/100. Is that close to our estimate?
Yes.
Yes, it's close to our estimate.
Yes.
If you don't estimate, I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't estimate, you would just bring down the decimal point straight down, and you'd put 81.7. But once you estimate, you'd know 81.7 is a ridiculous answer. Crazy answer. Insane answer.
How do you do that?
How do I talk? It's my voice box. I'm going to put another one up, and I'm going to pause the video. Let those wonderful students in my class solve this one. I'll turn it back on, and those of you watching at home can then solve it as well. Let's do...
Do you even know who your subscribers are?
So, if you are watching at home or around the world, pause the video, solve the problem, and then turn it back on. Here in class, I'm going to pause the video, let you solve it, and then turn it back on. Thank you. And we're back. And we're back. And I'm using my Team Shake app to call on the next person that's going to help me.
Because you paid 99 cents.
I did pay 99 cents. Natalie! Natalie! I would like you to help me first estimate this problem. Or estimate the... Just give me an estimation. So what's your problem going to be after you estimate? 6.2. What are you estimating that to?
6
times 3.2
is 3.
3. So your answer should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 18.
Yep.
So you should look at your paper and be able to know if it's around 18. Not around 180 or 1,800. Your answer should be around 18. The next thing we're asked to do, Kaysen, is what? Awesome. Multiply it, ignoring the decimal points. So then we take it, we rewrite it, ignoring the decimal points, and we end up with the problem 62 times 32. Thank you, Kaysen. Let's start off with my 1's place times my 1's place, Kaysen, and I get what? 4. Then I have my 1's place times my 10's place. 12. 12 tens is the same as saying 102 tens. So this is the same as saying 62 times 2. This is going to be the same as saying 62 times what, Kason?
3.
30. Good. Because the 3 is in the tens place. So if you ever got to this point where you're like, this is so confusing doing 2-digit by 2-digit, break it up. God bless you. Now, since we're multiplying by the tens place, I put the 0 in the ones place, and I call on my great friend Alizé. Alizé, what's 3 times 2? 6. I have 6 tens. Alizé, what's 3 times 6? 18. I have 1,800s. What is the sum of these two products, Alizé?
1,984.
The sum of those two products is 1,984. So I'm going to put that 1984 over here. But I need my answer to be around 18. So obviously that tells me where my decimal point's going to go. I can check that. There are 2 numbers behind the decimal point in our problem. There need to be 2 numbers behind the decimal point in my product. Yes, ma'am. No? Okay. Boom! Shakalaka! Peace out! God bless! Love ya! Do something kind today!
Bye.